This portion of the news brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
From that town meeting that took place in Exuma last week.
According to government officials, the illegal immigration problem is being addressed and more infrastructure is on the way for that community. Julian Gibson reports.
When it comes to the illegal immigration problem in Exuma and the Keys, Foreign Affairs and Immigration Minister Fred Mitchell says that the establishment of the immigration reserves should eliminate some of their problems.
We amended the law earlier this year to allow for the creation of an immigration reserve. The regs are being drawn up now, and in the first instance, we're hoping, I think we have an allocation this year subject to financing of 100 additional officers, and we want to make sure at least a quarter of them form the reserve. Now, the reserve is actually going to be for places that don't have immigration officers at all, and so that will mean, I think, in the short term, places like Staniel doesn't have immigration, right? Staniel, Farmers, Black Point, and Ragged Island.
Now, according to Deputy Prime Minister Honorable Philip Brave Davis, he says that infrastructure work will take place in Exuma. They will not be left out.
We are making progress by advancing the Caribbean Development Bank funded feasibility studies into the new port and a new north to south bypass highway for Georgetown.
Reporting for the ZNS News Network, I am Julian Gibson.
As of October 8th, the public will no longer be able to access Cabbage Beach along property previously owned by the Atlantis Resort, according to a posted notice. Atlantis officials responding to questions released a statement this evening explaining that the resort no longer owns the beach, as ownership was transferred away from Brookfield to a subsidiary of Access Industries in 2014. The statement notes that the owner intends to develop the property and goes on to read that stakeholders are being given notice as required under any agreement that may have been in place with respect to access over the property in question. The resort says public notice regarding the terms and conditions of access to Cabbage Beach has been posted for years. The statement further notes that access for commercial and recreational purposes over what is private property has always been on a temporary basis and as authorized by the owners of Cable Beach.
The government is taking a more focused approach to cleaning up the island as efforts continue to beautify and improve the environment for residents and visitors alike. And as Fern Carey tells us tonight, the Public Beach and Park and Beach Authority, it's a new government entity responsible for the upkeep of public parks and beaches. They've launched a cleanup campaign to take back our beaches.
Residents can expect to see New Providence transformed into a cleaner, more pristine place in the coming months as crews from the Public Park and Beach Authority canvass the island in a massive cleanup exercise. Dressed in all white, in order to distinguish them from the regular work crews, the workers were deployed at R.M. Bailey Park and the adjacent highway on Monday. Managing Director at the Public Park and Beach Authority, Bruce Walker, says they will be focusing on a number of areas.
This team will do a lot of underbrushing, weeding, cleaning, and painting of the curbs so that we have a more aesthetic looking community. We also have 5 zones, and we're going to work at R.M. Bailey, we're also going to work at Yamacraw, Prince Charles, and we're going to hit Montague. So in a few days you're going to see a general improvement in the environment.
Regarding concerns that the new cleanup crews may result in layoffs for the Ministry of Work cleanup teams, Walker says there is no cause for alarm.
Taking away anybody's job. I just want to be on the record because that's the fear that people may have. We just want to widen the corridors so that, with crime and all that, people can hide in bushes and all that. So we want to widen those areas. This is our first initiative, and I invite you and the public to make comments, to give us feedback on areas that you feel that we need to respond to.
The initiative comes on the heels of a video that went viral on social media a few weeks ago depicting downtown Nassau in a negative light. However, Park and Beach Authority Chairman Senator Greg Burrows stressed that plans to clean up the island were put in place on July 1st, well before the video was released.
There's a team down there. What we really are looking at is how we best serve the Bay Street area, and it's my belief, and of course the belief of our staff, is to do that at night. So we're looking at changing some of the wake hours, making sure that everybody's comfortable with the wake hours, first of all. A lot of the staff is agreeing that we should do most of the Bay Street cleaning and for some parts, some of the other cleaning at night.
Now a campaign will be launched soon to encourage residents to do their part to keep the island clean. Fern Carey, ZNS Network News.
This portion of the news was brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
This is your Royal Fidelity Business News. I'm Cleopatra Murphy. President of the Bahamian Contractors Association, Godfrey Forbes, says many Bahamian contractors have suffered due to the stalled opening of the Bahamas resort because they have not been paid for services rendered. He says this is a frequent problem within the local industry and called for regulation of the sector to protect the interest of contractors. In other business news, Staniel Key Airport in the Exuma Keys is expected to be reopened around Thanksgiving. The facility was shut down in April because its runway was riddled with potholes and in need of repaving. A $1.8 million contract was awarded last month, and work is expected to be completed in 12 weeks. Executives of the Staniel Key Yacht Club say the Thanksgiving weekend is a big business weekend for them, and they look forward to reaping the financial rewards associated with the reopening of the airport. And in international business news, for Americans who owe Uncle Sam $100 million or more, one check isn't going to cut it. They are going to have to cut two. Starting next year, the IRS will no longer accept checks of more than $99,999,999. Those who owe in excess of that amount will have to break the payment up into two or more checks or transfer the money electronically to cover the debt. Any checks exceeding the limit will be returned. The reason is that the IRS has to manually enter checks with more than 7 digits, and there may be a bigger demand than you think. The IRS reported that in the last tax season, 14 checks were deposited that exceeded the $100 million mark. That was your Royal Fidelity Business News. I'm Cleopatra Murphy.
The glitz and glamour was on full display last night at the Atlantis Resort as 3 new beauty ambassadors for the country began their reign after being crowned in the 2015 Miss Bahamas beauty pageant. We get that story tonight from Clint Watson.
Call it a double header of beauties. It took 2 shows and 3 crowns to determine the country's main beauty ambassadors for the next year. Torianne Penn walked away with the title of Miss Universe Bahamas, and in the same competition, Darenique Young captured the title of Miss Earth, the first for the Miss Bahamas organization. Following swimsuit and evening gown showcases, months of competition came down to the dreaded final question.
I would love to invest time with the children who have been infected with HIV. AIDS and HIV does not have a face, so you will never know when you come in contact with it.
In a separate show earlier in the evening, Chantel O'Brien was crowned Miss World Bahamas. At a press conference following the event, the beauty queens were emotional and excited about their accomplishment, noting that the journey was certainly not easy.
We're not going to be called the country that's not a SAG country anymore. We're going top 5 and then we're taking the crown.
I've competed 3 times now, back to back to back, and I can definitely say the 3rd time is definitely the charm.
This year, I went after my dream and I was successful in doing it.
The beauty queens are looking forward to executing their platforms, working closely with the AIDS Foundation, while over the next few months engaging in intense training for their international competitions. Clint Watson, ZNS Network News.
The Golden Eagles soared today with the help of the Royal Bahamas Police Force Band as they paraded on the grounds of the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas. The Gold Team is one of the 4 teams we have here at the corporation as it celebrates a major milestone in broadcasting. Employees stood on the sidelines enjoying the music and dancing to the beat in what was the launch of a week of activities for this team. The celebration was a part of the team-oriented activities at the corporation to promote camaraderie among staff as well. Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas GM and Gold Team leader Diana Swan officially declared September 14th to 18th Golden Eagles Week.
Whereas the main objective of the Golden Eagles is captured in our commitment to high standards expressed through a series of community-minded, health-conscious, personal growth, and learning opportunities accessible to all of the employees of the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas. And whereas the first Golden Eagles, established 2015, includes employees in New Providence who have committed to make their mark at the Broadcasting Corporation, guided by team leader Diana Swan, is proud to include these extraordinary members with diverse skills and talents displayed in a wide range of responsibility at stations located at Rusty Bethel Drive, Nassau, Bahamas, and at the stations at the Harold de Gregory Building in Freeport, Grand Bahama. And whereas, in addition to having coordinated a series of events, including a drill display by the Royal Bahamas Police Force Band, high tea affair, and a healthy lifestyles course, among other activities, the Golden Eagles fulfill the commitment to show love and gratitude to our fellow man.
You don't have anything to say. You're speechless.
Listen, you have to let me determine whether or not the Golden Eagles soared today.
I think it was a great day.
We'll have to determine that at the end of the week.
Clearly, you are not on the Golden Eagles team.
Clearly.
And clearly, that's why you have so much hate.
And you're wearing blue because I'm on the blue team.
Haterade. I know that the
The
producer's going to
Family
give me
Island Connection, brought to you by BTC, is up next.
Well, still soaring.
Ever been to Iguana? Most Bahamians haven't. Well, tonight we take a trip for a conversation about how phone service there has taken the southern island as far north and beyond as they want to go. Here's tonight BTC Island Connection.
Iguana. It's a far way off from most of the island chain, but a recent visit revealed at least one familiarity for me.
Keisha and Keishla.
Here at the administrator's office, they're like family, an extension of the three-settlement island community bond.
This is the administrator, Reverend Newbold. Your mommy is there? Okay. When she comes, tell her, please call me.
Iguana Administrator Zephaniah Newbold has made the rounds as an administrator and has witnessed the South make the telecommunications transition.
I can only speak from my growing up in Cat Island, and I believe it would have affected Iguana as well. When I was growing up, we couldn't dream of having a phone as small as you like it, in your hand or pocket or on the side, sporting, so to speak.
The island has between 250 and 300 residents, and nowadays, a relatively modern amenity isn't such a novelty anymore.
The most common individual, and I use the word not loosely but with all respect, you'll see him or her having a cell phone, and every facet of communication that's available, they're able to use. Because we do have BDC, communication lines between relatives who may be in New Providence, Grand Bahama, or any other part of the Bahamas and the world, they're able to connect and speak and find out exactly how the family here, resident in Iguana, are doing. So BDC has, as it has grown, has also spread its wings.
Keishla Adderley for the BTC Island Connection.